Do you need a bunch of turtle eggs or Scute? Well, you've come to the right place. I'm your host, Ledoux, and in this episode we're going to build a turtle farm. My main objective for this design was to make it AFKable, so something similar to a coral farm where we sit in a minecart and hold down the mine button. Except that we actually have to click to breed the turtles, so you will need an autoclicker or a turbo controller in order to fully AFK this design. But even without an autoclicker, we can always just manually breed the turtles and walk away. We also have a door to access the kill chamber, just in case you don't want to wait on the turtles to grow up naturally. If you need a Scute right now, you can just grow up a baby turtle. So with this, you will get all of the eggs and Scute that you could ever need. The turtles will also drop Seagrass, which you can then turn around, feed them to breed them to make more turtle eggs and more Scute. The exact rates will highly depend on how many turtles you have and how big you make the farm. Now, of course, there is no way to automatically collect the turtle eggs, unlike the Scute and the Seagrass. So for the eggs, you will have to go in and mine them with Silk Touch in order to collect them, but they take so long to hatch that you have plenty of time. You may be wondering why we would ever need a bunch of turtle eggs. Well, it just so happens that in my next video, we're going to be building a nether-based gold farm, and that uses a ton of turtle eggs. Most mobs really hate the turtles, and they try to step on their eggs and break them. So we can use the eggs as bait traps to lure in the mobs. The first thing to mention before starting the build tutorial is that you will need shears in order to collect seagrass. And of course, we will need seagrass in order to breed our turtles. Now, to find your first turtles, they will spawn on sandy beaches. So basically, find an ocean that has a sandy coastline, and turtles should spawn there. Now, it is very important to note that you cannot just bring the turtles to the farm. The turtles will only lay their eggs near their home block, and their home block is the block that they either hatched or spawned on. So they will only lay eggs at the place that they spawned. So we need to breed them at the beach when we find them, wait for them to lay eggs, and then harvest those eggs using Silk Touch. Luckily, turtles can lay up to 4 eggs at a time. So go ahead and collect some eggs, and then you can build this farm anywhere that you want to. The farm does not need to be near the ocean. It can be underground or in the sky, near your base, anywhere that you want. For this design, our build area is going to be 34 by 11. But really, you could build this at any custom size, which we will talk more about near the end of the video when we go over the turtle mechanics. Starting off, 1 block from the side and the back, we're going to place 6 sand going forward. Then we're going to place 31 sand going off to the side and fill it in, so that we are left with a 6 by 32 sand platform. And now I would recommend going ahead and placing your eggs, because these take so long to hatch. Just be sure that you don't accidentally step on your eggs or you could break them. You need to keep mobs and yourself away so that they can't accidentally break your turtle eggs, because they're so delicate. So if you want to wait to place them in until it's safe, you could totally do that as well. Next up, we're going to semi-surround the sand in solid blocks, going all the way around, poking out the front by 2. Then connect the front together so that you're left with a trench. Then place an additional row of solid blocks here in the front so that you are left with this. Now, in the front, aligned with the sand, we need to place a row of bottom slabs like so. Now we want to go up by an additional solid block all the way around the walls of the farm. And it is worth noting that maybe you want to use light source blocks. Because you will need to light up this farm in some way or another. So now we're going to place slabs on top of all of these blocks to keep the turtles from escaping. But instead of slabs, you could use solid blocks and then place torches on them. Either way, we just need to light up the inside of the farm, and really the slabs just make it cheaper than solid blocks. Plus it looks kind of nice. We just need to keep mobs completely out of this farm so they don't break our turtle eggs. So how you accomplish that is totally up to you. Really, the only things that need to be slabs are these ones here in the front on the bottom, because we need this hole right here so that we can feed the turtles. Then here on the inside, we need another row of slabs or solid blocks right here next to the ones that we just placed, so that we can place trapdoors on the bottom of these new blocks. These trapdoors will prevent turtles from crawling in between the slabs, because turtles are only a half a block tall, so they can crawl between slabs. But the trapdoors will block them from being able to do that. So now, in this canal, we need to dig down 1 block all the way across, and we need to place a water bucket 1 block below where the sand is, on each side. So 1 block below where the sand is, place a water bucket, And then on the very final water, where the water stops, we need to dig down 1 so that the water continues flowing. So right there where the water stops, dig down 1 so that the water keeps flowing. Then right here, where there should be 2 open spaces, we need to dig down 4. And then dig out forward by 3. So down by 4 and forward by 3. Place a temporary chest so that we can place 4 hoppers pointed into that chest and looping around. Then place 2 slabs on top of these hoppers that are in the hole, and we need to make sure that 2 blocks in every direction from those slabs is solid blocks. You don't want any hole within 2 blocks of these slabs, or the turtles might clip through the wall into the hole and survive, or some of your drops might end up in those holes. So we need to make sure that it is completely solid around those slabs in that hole. But now we can remove this chest and switch it for a double chest for our collection system. Now we just need a way to get in and out of the farm. So place some ladders there on the wall so that you can get in to collect your eggs, and then place some ladders above your water canal so that we can escape the farm. If we want to access the kill chamber to quickly grow turtles, then here in the middle, 1 block away from the wall, we need to dig down 3, and then dig over to our kill chamber like so. And so this hole should be 1.5 blocks above those slabs down there. Now, we're going to need a door, but we want this door to be flush with the wall. So we need to place it while facing this direction. However, we can't place it from up here on the sand without breaking some of the sand. So we can just place it from inside of our water canal, like so, and then just swim away. One really important thing to note is that before your eggs hatch, or if you ever want to add more adult turtles, we need to block off this front water stream. You know, the baby turtles will pathfind to the water, fall into your kill chamber. So we just need to temporarily block off the water canal like so, and wait for the turtles to grow into adults. And once you have all the adult turtles that you want, you can go ahead and break out this barrier. Now all that's left is to add the optional AFK minecart. However, just keep in mind that this is only relevant if you have access to an autoclicker or to a turbo controller, because we need to feed the turtles the seagrass, which requires multiple clicking. We can't just hold down the mine button, because that won't breed the turtles. But if you do have access to one of those things, we just need 3 powered rails, 1 on each end powered by levers, and then 1 there in the middle. Now, one of these, we're going to place a minecart, and then if we get in the minecart, flick the lever, grab our seagrass, aim at that kind of topmost part of the slab, and then activate our auto clicker, we will infinitely breed turtles. You could even add a seagrass dispenser to keep you stocked while you're AFK for really long sessions. Now, even though we can't automatically harvest the eggs, they take about 20 minutes or longer to hatch. So if we AFK'd this for like 20 minutes, this platform should be completely full of eggs. If you want Scute instead of eggs, all you have to do is wait. As they hatch, they will automatically pathfind to the water, get pushed into the kill chamber, and then as they grow up, they will then clip into the wall and die. And if you need Scute right now and don't want to wait for them to grow naturally, you can always feed them seagrass to make them grow faster. Now, if there's just 1 turtle in the kill chamber, it might not clip into the wall on its own. So just give it a punch and it will clip into the wall. But if there's more turtles, they will usually push each other, and force the clip into the wall. But then all of your drops will end up down here in your collection system. But now let's talk about some of the things that I learned while designing this farm, as well as how to customize it so that we can all learn together. So I tried a bunch of stuff from like end rods to chains to lightning rods to fences to walls, and the problem with all of these things is that the turtles will end up getting clipped inside of anything that is not a full block. Like this turtle right here is trapped in this fence forever. Until we punch him or move him, he can't breed, he can't eat, he can't do anything. As for the kill chamber, it is similar to how a chicken farm works. As the adults grow, they will become too big to fit inside of the kill chamber, so they will clip into the wall and die. Now the really interesting mechanic is the baby turtle pathfinding. So much stuff that I read, like on the wiki or on Reddit, all were just like, turtles pathfind to the ocean. And it's like, no, they don't pathfind to the ocean. That can't be how this works. So after a ton of experimenting, I finally figured out that baby turtles will pathfind to an area that has water on the 2nd and 3rd block below the block they are on. So they need to have water on the second and third block below them in order to pathfind. So that's why we have the water flowing over this corner right here, so that we have water on the second and third block below where the baby turtles will be. But like if we blocked the water with a button, even if we had another source block right here, the baby turtles would not pathfind to this at all. Or even if there was water flush with the sand, or even if we had the water go all the way over to the edge with another source, the baby turtles will not pathfind to any of this. It has to have a flowing water or water source on the second and third block below them. So if you want to build this longer or shorter or at a custom size, just keep that in mind. You know, here in the middle, you could always place buttons to block the water so that the kill chamber doesn't get flooded. The only important part is to have a flowing water or a water source on the second and third block below the sand. So if you want to build a turtle farm in your own custom way, just keep in mind that turtles will get stuck in anything that is not a full solid block, and that baby turtles need water on the second and third block below the sand in order to pathfind. And on a related note, I am super duper excited to be finishing up this nether-based gold farm. This style of gold farm gets completely overshadowed on Bedrock by portal ticking. But what people don't tell you about portal-based gold farms is that they build up unresolvable pending ticks very quickly, which inflate the file size of your world, increase loading time and lag, and eventually start breaking redstone, where clocks and hoppers are no longer consistent, and can eventually lead to the flat-out corruption of your world. And worst of all, if you're not playing on a PC, you have no possible way to ever delete those pending ticks, so it will just slowly inflate and corrupt your world. But anyway, let me know what you plan on using your scutes and your turtle eggs for. I would love to know. But as always, don't forget to have fun. Bye-bye!